What's up, guys? Topher Rocks here, and doing this Avengers review here on my phone, so the audio and stuff's probably not going to be the best, but with my iMac, I get so many microphone issues. I don't want to try and record a review like 12 times with bad static and stuff, so I'm just going to try and do it here on my Android phone, so bear with me. But yeah, I just saw the Avengers tonight, the midnight screening. Saw it in IMAX 3D, and I don't even know where to start. It cost $16.50, which is pretty expensive for a freaking movie ticket, but it was worth it, in my opinion. I really, I've been trying to been thinking a lot about stuff in regards to movies. Whether or not this was the most fun I've had in a theater, and I'm 24 years old. I'll be 25 next Friday, a week from today actually, and I really can't remember if I've had that much fun in a theater. I know Lord of the Rings was a lot of fun, and the Spider-Man movies were a lot of fun. Some of the X-Men movies were fun, and I saw Star Wars. I saw all the Star Wars in theaters. Well, not the original ones, because I saw the re-releases back in '97 when I was 10. But man, I mean, it was a packed house. I got there a little late. I got there around 11:30 or so, and I don't know if you guys have seen movies in IMAX, but the theaters are bigger, and the screen is at least the one here in St. Louis is 8 stories tall. It's huge, and you definitely want to be sitting way in the back. It definitely makes a little bit better experience. And I was in the 5th row from the bottom, so that kind of sucked. But and I was a little worried before the movie came on, just because there's so much going on in this movie, and I figured for the big action scenes it'd be hard to follow everything because the screen's so big and I'm looking up at it. It really wasn't that bad though. And even before the movie started, we were all getting pumped. I just saw it with one of my buddies, but I love seeing movies with packed theaters, and it's so much better than when you see a movie in an empty theater, and when it's just you and a couple of friends. And it's always cool seeing other people cheer and clap and stuff like that. And that was even happening with the trailers, and people were just pumped up to see this movie. And got to see the Spider-Man preview and the Batman preview, which was great, and that got a good response. The Expendables too got a really great response from the fans too that were there. So that was great. That was a even better build-up for this movie. And man, I don't know. It's another thing I've been thinking about too. I guess I'll say this while it's on my mind. I don't know if this was better than The Dark Knight back from 2008, which I'm sure most of you have probably seen. I don't know if I enjoyed this more or not. I'm not really sure. I saw that twice in theaters, and I've only seen this once, and I definitely can't wait to go see this again. So maybe it might take me a couple viewings to kind of gauge whether or not I like Dark Knight better than this, because this is, hands down, one of the best comic book movies ever, or best action movies ever. I mean, the action scenes in this are just tremendous and just jaw-dropping and exciting, and it's seeing these characters that you kind of grown up with, like I have, watching the TV shows, reading some of the comics when I was a kid, seeing them all together in a team. It reminds you of sports teams when a good quarterback and running back team up, or basketball where Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal team up. You love seeing that type of team up and everyone come together for the common good and all that, whatever you want to say, corny cliche lines. But in this, it was really well done. It was really balanced, which I was surprised. I figured it would be really tough to balance all these bigger than life characters in one film, especially considering they all had their own movies before, except for Black Widow and Hawkeye, which, while that's on my mind, both of those characters were actually really good in the movie. I was really surprised. I heard Hawkeye wasn't in it that much, or he kind of gets the short end. but he was actually really good when he was in it, and honestly, I thought he was in the movie a lot more than I thought he was going to be. So that kind of worked out, and I'm a big fan of Jeremy Renner. I thought he did a great job with what he had, and they threw in a couple of nods to like a bit of a backstory with Black Widow and stuff, which was cool. They really didn't get into the origins of the characters. One, because some of the characters are a little bit more minor than the other ones, and then all the main guys have already had their own movies before, so there's no really reason to get all into that when you're trying to tell this big epic story, which was great. And I thought Loki was great. I really love Tom Hiddleston. I think he's a great actor from what I've seen from him now, and he really has a passion for this character, and I'm really happy to see that they didn't pull one of those villains where they wipe him out and he won't be in any other movies. Sorry if that's kind of a spoiler, but yeah, Loki doesn't die. So it's good to see him maybe in later movies. I know he'll be in Thor too, so that'll be cool to see. But the story was good. The characters were great. It was really funny too. I was really surprised at how funny it was, and it wasn't like a super corny humor to it. It was really witty and smart and well timed, and the movie was really well paced too. It really goes by quick. It's like 2.5 hours, but it goes by really fast. And I was just saying to myself when I was watching it, I was just like in amazement, pretty much just like hoping that this movie wasn't going to end. And of course it does, but it goes by super quick. I remember The Dark Knight was like that for me too, because that's a longer movie, but it goes by really quick. It just paced really well, and the action scenes are really great. And I really, even in this, the action scenes are really amazing, and the Hulk really stands out. I can definitely say that much. And he was actually really funny too. He kicks a lot of ass, but he's actually pretty funny in this movie too. By far the best Hulk, and I thought Mark Ruffalo did a fantastic job with Bruce Banner. I thought he was really solid. But the dialogue scenes, in between, the characters just talking to each other, I thought was great. Maybe not as good as the action scenes, because they were just really some of the best I've ever seen from any movie, not just comic book movies, but any movie. I thought they were really well done, and but it was cool seeing Tony Stark interact with Steve Rogers and their different points of view on being a hero and stuff like that. I just thought that was great, and I thought Joss Whedon just did a great job with this movie, and I was really surprised because he did Serenity, which was, I guess, a fairly big budget movie, but I mean, this was a huge movie and a big undertaking, and he did a great job, and I really hope he directs the sequels, because I don't know if anybody could really do it better, because he's kind of a fanboy himself, and he wrote a big long line of Astonishing X-Men comics, and I heard those were great. I haven't read them myself, but I heard nothing but good things, and he just did a great job with this movie, and he wrote the script, or helped write the script, co-wrote the script, whatever you want to say. I thought he did a great job with this movie. I really hope, like I said, he does the sequels. And obviously there's going to be a sequel, because this movie is just going to be a beast. This movie was just a beast of a movie. I really don't know how to put it. Just a fun, entertaining experience. It's definitely an experience, and if you have an IMAX theater near you, I would definitely see it. The 3D was pretty good for post converted. It didn't really like strain my eyes too bad or anything like that. I don't really think it's necessary. You can definitely still see this in 2D and still have a great time, which I'll probably do next time, because it's a lot cheaper. It's like $6 cheaper to see it just in normal 2D, and I really can't wait to see it again. I'd probably give it 9.5 out of 10 stars. It's just a fun experience, just great, and just probably the most fun I've had since The Dark Knight, or maybe even more. I really don't know. I still got to ponder that and kind of debate that in my head. But overall, fantastic movie. The Hulk, in my opinion, steals the show. He was my favorite character. Guys, let me know if you have seen it, or if you're waiting to see it, or whatever. If you're seeing it this weekend, let me know your favorite characters, or who stole the show for you. And I guess that's it, and I'll talk to you guys later. See you.